Welcome back. Today's explainer is going to take us on an absolutely wild ride through a chaotic fantasy romance that completely flips the script on your typical hero's journey. We are looking at the story of an incredibly overpowered warrior who goes from being humanity's ultimate weapon to, well, an accidental stay-at-home dad. Get ready, because the twists in this narrative are literally legendary.
So what actually happens when humanity's greatest weapon becomes the enemy's husband? To understand this bizarre family dynamic, we have to start right at the inciting incident. Just imagine this. Leon, the undisputed #1 dragon slayer in history, is finally defeated and captured by the terrifying queen of the dragons, Ross Weiss. Beaten and chained in her dungeon, Leon knows he is totally out of options. As the queen mocks him, tasting his blood, Leon activates a desperate, forbidden blood curse meant to destroy them both. It's his final, epic act of defiance.
Okay, let's dive into this massive shift in status. In his past, Leon was an absolute prodigy. We're talking about a kid slaying feral beasts at age 5 and graduating at the top of the Imperial Academy at just 14. He was a walking nightmare for the entire dragon race. But his present reality? He's a powerless prisoner, forced to act as a babysitter. It is a massive, incredibly humiliating downgrade for our protagonist. So, how on earth did he get here?
Well, that blood curse backfired in the most spectacular way possible. Following his capture on day 1, the intense magical connection threw Leon into a deep coma. During year 1, the curse's magic mysteriously resulted in the Dragon Queen giving birth to twin hybrid daughters. By year 2, Leon finally wakes up, and guess what? He's lost his immense magical powers, his freedom, and his bachelor status, all at exactly the same time.
Section 1. Waking up a prisoner.
Now, waking up from a 2-year coma to find out you're suddenly a dad is a pretty massive shock. Right out of the gate, his twin daughters present 2 very different challenges. Moon is super sweet, totally naive, and instantly adores her father. Noah, on the other hand, is hyper-competitive, fiercely proud of her dragon heritage, and bluntly tells Leon he looks way too weak to be her dad. Instantly, Leon is hit with the incredibly tough dual challenges of fatherhood, protecting the sweet one and somehow winning the respect of the incredibly stubborn one.
Section 2. Fatherhood and Failed Escapes.
Of course, as a hardcore warrior, Leon isn't just going to sit back and accept this new life. He tries to run, but his attempts are hilariously futile. The queen is overwhelmingly powerful and, frankly, treats him terribly. She literally uses him as an office chair to sit on while she's working. I mean, come on. When he tries to dig his way out or make a run for the human border, she easily catches him. To make absolutely sure he never escapes, she brands him with a magical control mark that mentally and physically subdues him. And the ultimate humiliation, she flies him out to his old human hometown and triggers the mark just to sham him in front of his own people. Brutal.
But we all know how disarming a sweet kid can be, right? When he first meets Little Moon, despite all the literal torture from the queen, his inner monologue drops this fantastic thought. Maybe I contributed so much to humanity that I went to heaven and she's an angel. It perfectly highlights the incredible irony of his situation. He absolutely despises the mother, but he just can't help but slowly fall in love with his completely innocent, totally adorable hybrid daughters.
And this right here leads to the ultimate comedic paradox of his entire new life. His hyper-competitive daughter, Noah, really wants to enroll in the prestigious Dragon Academy, specifically so she can grow up to kill dragon slayers. And what does Leon do? He uses his genius intellect and insider knowledge as the greatest dragon slayer in history to tutor her on exactly how to do it. It is just a perfect, hilarious paradox.
But hey, Leon is always scheming. He attempts to secretly brew a legendary potion to restore his lost magic, playing absolute tactical 4D chess. Step 1. He gathers rare ingredients by pretending he needs them to stay awake while tutoring. Step 2. His rudimentary makeshift tools totally fail the fire purification. But Step 3. He uses his genius combat IQ to substitute fire with electrolysis, tapping into his tiny bit of residual lightning magic. And against all odds, he actually pulls it off.
Except, he's in a dragon castle. The potion doesn't restore human magic at all. Instead, it acts as a massive, overwhelming dragon stimulant. He stubbornly swallows it anyway just to prove a point to the queen, and the aftermath is completely disastrous and chaotic. Let's just say it leads to a very wild night that permanently shifts the tension and the entire dynamic between Leon and Ross Weiss.
Section 3. The Dragon Academy Trials.
Now, what's really interesting about this part of the story is that to get Noah into the elite academy, the family actually has to put their differences aside for the parent interview segment. The academy tests family harmony with a round of couples trivia. Leon and Ross, who supposedly hate each other's guts, accidentally score an 80 out of 100. They naturally know absolutely everything about each other's habits, from favorite colors to how they sit in chairs. It's a huge glaring tell that their so-called fake relationship is masking a very real developing connection.
So Noah gets accepted, but she quickly runs into trouble with 3 bullies from the arrogant Crimson Dragon clan. However, she pulls out a very specific piece of combat advice her dad casually dropped earlier. When you fight a Crimson Dragon, you should go for the knees first. She uses that tip to absolutely wreck the bullies, proving once and for all that her father's knowledge is incredibly valuable.
Section 4. Defending the family honor. This little incident triggers a huge, climactic duel. The incredibly arrogant head of the Crimson Clan, Lord Constantine, demands Noah's expulsion and challenges Leon directly. Now remember, Leon has virtually 0 magic right now, but his combat IQ? Unmatched. Step 1. He easily reads Constantine's raw, predictable attacks. Step 2. He perfectly dodges a massive electric blast. Step 3, he sweeps that exact same weak point, the knee. And Step 4, he lands a devastating, completely humiliating punch right to the Dragon Lord's face. He completely embarrasses a high-ranking dragon without using a single drop of magic. So the real crucial point of this battle isn't just about winning, it's the massive emotional payoff that follows. Noah, who previously thought her father was just a weak, pathetic human, actually watches him dismantle a Dragon Lord with pure, unadulterated skill. For the very first time, she genuinely praises her dad. Leon finally wins the respect of his stubborn daughter, marking a huge milestone in their relationship.
Section 5. A bizarre new normal.
The chaotic energy just keeps going when Ross Weiss's sister Isabel drops in for a totally surprise visit. She is highly suspicious and wants to thoroughly check on the happy couple. To keep up appearances, Leon and Ross are forced into a wildly uncomfortable, highly romantic guest room. We're talking a waterbed and extreme, awkward proximity. The comedic tension is absolutely through the roof. But beautifully, it actually leads to a moment of genuine bonding when a fake toy spider drops from the ceiling, totally terrifying the queen, and Leon actually comforts her. The fake romance is slowly, surely blurring into reality.
But don't go thinking the queen has gone totally soft. After Leon playfully embarrasses her in front of her sister, Ross Weiss enacts a hilariously absurd form of torture. She literally dresses up like a strict teacher and forces the legendary Dragon Slayer to do 10 hours of brutal physics and chemistry homework until he just collapses from mental exhaustion. It's such a brilliant, funny subversion of what you'd expect from a dungeon prisoner.
And that brings us to the final, high-stakes event of our narrative today. The Academy is throwing a massive dragon sports festival, and family pride is entirely on the line in a fiercely competitive 3,000-meter relay race.
This race pits the absolute most elite dragon clans against each other. In the very first leg, it's Ross Weiss representing the Silver Dragons, relying on raw, explosive speed and power, going head-to-head against the Electric Dragons, who are known for their unmatched agility. It is completely neck and neck, a cinematic, breathless display of dragon physical prowess, but Ross narrowly secures the lead for her family.
Ross passes the baton to Noah, who fights incredibly hard to maintain their position against fully grown dragon teenagers. And then the tension absolutely peaks. Noah reaches the final exchange zone and hands the baton over to her father. Leon is running the anchor leg.
And wow, this leaves us on an absolute cliffhanger. Leon is going up against a massive, fully grown dragon student in a pure, unadulterated foot race. Can a magically drained, formerly overpowered human actually tap into his pure physical discipline to outrun a literal dragon and secure his family's victory? Well, you'll have to dive into the source material to find out. This explainer shows just how perfectly this story blends intense action with hilarious domestic comedy. It really leaves you wondering, if you woke up and lost all your power tomorrow, how far would you go to protect your family? Thanks so much for joining me, and keep questioning what you know.